अभी तो नहीं read it.
As far as material necessities are concerned, the human civilization at the present moment is very much advanced in living comfortably, but still we are not happy because we are missing the point. The material comforts of life alone are not sufficient to make us happy. The vivid example is America, the richest nation of the world, having all facilities for material comfort, is producing a class of men completely confused and frustrated in life. I am appealing herewith to such confused men to learn the arts of devotional service as directed in the nectar of devotion, and I am sure that the fire of material existence burning within their hearts will be immediately extinguished. The root cause of our dissatisfaction is that our dormant loving propensity has not been fulfilled despite our great advancement in the materialistic way of life. The nectar of devotion will give us practical hints how we can live in this material world perfectly engaged in devotional service and thus fulfill all our desires in this life and in the next.
So, people are misled. They are thinking that by material comfort they will have. Practically we are seeing this competition of material comfort. The capitalist and the labor class, worker class, they are fighting, strife. Actually the propensity is that that is explained in Marshall theory of economics. We are student of economics. So in that book, Mr. Marshall explains that the family affection is the origin of economic impetus. That's a fact. These hippies, they have no family affection. They are not married, and therefore there is no economic impetus. They can live in any way, any wretched condition of life. And one who is married, responsible man, he has got some responsibility to see that provided he has got affection for the family. Otherwise, practically, so-called family life, there is no affection. So this is a fact. The family affection, Purushan Striyami Sunibhavamita. There is a propensity of man, association with woman, Mithuni Bhava. Everyone is trying to find out the man or woman, and when they unite, that attraction becomes tightly knot. Tayur mitho hidayaganthi mahu. Hidayaganthi. And then the economic impetus starts. Atat griha kshetra sutapta vittai. Griha, home, kshetra, land, are the office for earning money. Griha, kshetra, suto, children, friends, after, and vitta, money. In this way, one becomes entangled in the so-called economic development. Dharma, artha, kam, moksha. People who take to religion mostly for economic development. People go to temple, church, for economic development. Oh God, give us our daily bread, we chant the prayer, this is economic development. So, materially, they want anyway, they want to be happy materially. That is, Bohirarthamani. Materially means this body. This body is matter. And I, the person who is living within the body, I am spirit. Dehinas means yatha dehi. Asmin dehe dehina. There is the proprietor. We have several times explained that people do not know this. As soon as one understands that I am not this body, I am different from this body, then his interest becomes different. Because he is under ignorance that I am this body, therefore he is acting, working for this body. And as soon as it comes to the spiritual platform, Brahma Bhuta, he is no more interested in bodily comfort. That is the Vedic civilization. That one is educated to become introspective. He is educated to become introspective. The Brahmins, just like they are happy in any condition of life. That is our Vedic civilization. They accept poverty, not accept poverty. They are not very much interested. Either lie down on the ground or lie down on the sofa. They don't find any difference. Because they are not interested in this bodily comfort. People may say, oh, this is very uncivilized way, the primitive way of life, that he is lying down on the ground, just like animals. But he does not know that he is not interested either lying down, because when he sleeps, he forgets whether he is lying down on the ground or lying down. So that is not very important. But at the present moment, they have taken that lying down on a very nice bed-state cot and silken bed, that is advancement of civilization. But that is not advancement of civilization. Jasyātu buddhi kunapi tridhātuki. Because he is under the bodily concept of life. Now what is this body? It is made of three dhatu, kapha, pitta, vāyu. So I am kapha, pitta, vāyu? No. I am different. I am Brahmasmi. This knowledge is left. So, actually our desire is that there must be easy-going life. I shall not work very much. I shall live in a comfortable house, in a secluded place, and live peacefully. That is his desire. But because he does not know how to get that desire fulfilled, he is trying to get that desire fulfilled on the bodily comfort. This is a mistake. Not a vidu sharpa thing he does know. They do not know. That is the sharpa. Because, as it is said in the Vedas, God, natasya karyam karanam ca vidyati. He has nothing to work. God has nothing to work for his economic development. Natasya karyam karanam ca vidyati. Natasya samadhikashta dishyate. And because he is God, nobody is equal to him, and nobody greater than him. Sama adhikashta na drishyate. Parasa shakti vividhaiva sriyate. His energies are multi-energies, varieties of energies. And the energies are so perfect that svabhaviki jnana bala kriyāsa. Everything is happening automatically. So that is actually life. Why one should? Krishna is dancing with the gopis. That's all. Why should he work? Why God should work? Nata sakarjam karanam srivati. Ananda chinmaya nata. Because we are part and parcel of God, Krishna, we are also trying to achieve that life, that there will be no more to work. Let me accumulate some bank balance, the interest will come, and I shall sit down in a nice apartment, and then everything will come automatically, and I will be alive. That is actually life. Because we are part and parcel of God. The God has nothing to do. Krishna has nothing to do. So we also have nothing to do. Why you are working? They are taking this is pleasure, this material life name, because mostly they are infected with two qualities of material modes of nature, namely ignorance and passion. So, infected by this ignorance and passion, they are working very hard, just like an ass, and still they are thinking that I am happy. He comes back to home, working very, very hard in the office, and he thinks, now I am successful, I have earned so much money. This is the nature of material life. That he will work very hard and he will think that is this is material. But actually, if you are actually happy, then why you have to work so hard? But that is nonsense. He is nonsense. He does not know. Therefore, the karmis are called murhas, asses. The ass works hard for the waterman, and the waterman gives a morsel of grass, and he thinks I am happy. This is ass mentality. He has worked very hard, but getting that little bunch of grass, he can get it anywhere, but he thinks that this waterman gives it. Therefore, I have to work for it. Or he does not know that I am working for it. This is ass mentality. So actual life is that there will be no work. Why? Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavitari tavidya nijadupataya phala. It's like Krishna is displaying how he is happy with his cowherd boy, with the gopis, with his father, with his mother. And those who are dependent on Krishna, they are so confident that the cowherd's boy, Krishna goes every day to the forest, and there some demon comes, and simply the cowherd's boy, no, there is Krishna, we don't care for these demons. You see? And the demon is killed, and they come home, and they narrate the story to their mother. Oh, my dear mother, Krishna did this wonderful. The mother is also very appreciative. How Krishna is so nice. He can do wonderful. He must be some demigod, like that, gossiping. So actually, this is life. This Vrindavan life is actual life. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavita. What is this life? Working so hard day and night, and discovering and so many things, and as soon as the water supply is stopped, everything is stopped. The electricity will stop, the electric train will stop, the lift will stop, the light will stop, and everything there will be havoc. So this artificial life is not actual life. We are perceiving. Suppose there has been no rain for 1 or 2 years, there will be time, and for hundreds of years there will be no rain. You have to wait for that time. That time is coming at the end of Kali Yuga. For hundreds of years there will be no rain, and everything on the earth will be burnt into ashes. Not only there will be rain, but the sunshine will be 12 times hot, 12 times hotter than the present. The temperature will increase. These are the stages of the house. Then everything will turn into ashes. And then there is torrents of rain. So these are descriptions are there. So it is dukkhalayam asāsatam. This place, we are trying to live very comfortably in a place that is not very good in Kali. Because Krishna, the Creator, he says, dukkhalayam asāsatam. Māmapetna kontiya punarjan dukkhalayam nāpnumanti mahatmāna samsiddhiṃ paramā. So our aim should be how to go back to home, back to God. That is the real mission of human life. Because after asiting chaturang chaiva lakhanstan jivajatisu, there are 88,400,000 species of life after evolving. We have come to this human form of life. Tadapi vipalatam jahat. If we do not understand Govinda, Govinda Charanadam, then it is vipal. It is simply misuse. The modern civilization, they do not know it. This Krishna consciousness movement is meant for educating people that you are simply wasting it. No, I am doing my duty. The people say, this is the doctor says, I am doing my duty. The engineer says, I am doing my duty. The father says, I am doing my duty. The mother says, I am doing my duty. That's all right. But Bhagavad says, thank you very much that you are doing your duty. Dharmasyanustita pumsa vishaksena kathasuja notpadayadagating jadi kramayeva. You are doing your duty very nice. That's all right. But by doing your duty, if you do not develop your Krishna consciousness, that you are simply wasting your time. So these people, they do not know. They are thinking that you are doing your duty. But it is nonsense. Real duty is to develop Krishna consciousness. If you are missing that point, this so-called duty is simply wasting. Dharmasthana sutta pumsa vishaksena kathasuja notpadayadatim jadi samayeva ikeva. So they do not know. They are doing this. Everyone is engaged in his duty. They are not interested to hear about Krishna Katha. That is the real business of life, because they are engaged in duty. Duty. So why they do that? Nati vidu sārthagati. So they do not know. The real duty is to approach Vishnu. Sārthagati, interest. They are thinking, this is my interest. But real duty is sārthagati. Everyone should be interested in his business. But the real business is human life. That approach Vishnu, Tat Vishnu, Paramam Padam, Sada Pasanti Suya. Those who are actually at home, Aryans, their business is how to approach Vishnu. That is the big mantra. Nati vidu sārthagatim Vishnu. Durasaya. They are thinking by this bodily comfort they will be happy. No, that's not so. The real happiness is different. That is Krishna consciousness. And durasayadi vahirathamani. Andhajatandvi, and anyone will give him false hope that if you get independence, then overnight he will become like this, like that. That leader is very nice. If there is some political meeting, giving only bluff, lots of bluffs only, and people gathered there by thousands and millions to hear the bluff. Because my Guru Maharaj, therefore, used to say that this present human society is a society of the cheaters and the cheated. somebody is being cheated and somebody is cheated. A combination of two things, cheater and the cheater. Because they do not know the real interest of life. And anyone who will speak all nonsense and bluff, he will be very much adored. This is right. But actual interest is human life should be sober. Therefore, the first beginning of real life is to understand that I am not this body. This is the first lesson. But where is that education? Throughout the whole world, go anywhere. Where is that education? That students are being taught that you are not this body. That's no education. Then what is the value of this education? To keep them to keep them in the darkness, that is this is the only institution which is giving people real life. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana salakaya chakshur militam jena tasmai Sri Guru. So, our request is therefore to try to understand this Krishna philosophy and take to it seriously. Then your life will be successful. Otherwise you are simply wasting your time. This is our message. And if you want to talk, you want to argue, then also you are prepared. We have prepared so many books for this purpose. But this is the fact. If you accept it, it is good. And the next question may be that why the people do not take to Krishna consciousness. If it is so important, why they do not take to it? That is also explained by Prahlad Maharaj. Matinna Krishne parato satoma mitho vipadvita grihabratam. Grihabratam. Adanta gobhi visadantamesam punah punascharita chandana. The Matinna Krishna, if one stick to this principle, that I shall be happy with this material body, I shall be happy within this material world, within my country, within my society. In this way, if one thinks, they are called grihabrata. So, for such persons, grihabratana, those who want to become happy within this bodily environment, therefore, from the beginning of life, one has to be educated, the value of life, or approach by reporting. What is that next verse? Prahlad Maharaj. Matinna Krishne parato sthova mito vipatvi paviham adanta govi visatan tamis adanta govi. Because they cannot control their senses. The yoga system means to control the senses. Now yoga system has become a means of making the senses strong to enjoy. At the present moment, the so-called yoga system is exercise for making the body strong and senses strong. There is another verse, I forget. Nabrinita javat naishang matistavad urukramangri naishang matistavad urukramangri sprishat tanathapo gamoja datta mahiyasan padar adhivishikam niskinchana nabrinita matinna Krishna parato satova. Krishna, Mati, by personal endeavor, sata, or by taking lessons from others. Just like we are preaching this Krishna consciousness, we are attending meeting also, conference also. But still, Matinna Krishna. But that can be achieved only Naishan matista uvikraman means unless one surrenders to the Mahiyasang Padarajuvisu, unless one surrenders to the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotees, Krishna consciousness cannot be developed. It is not possible. That is the secret. Otherwise, you go on attending thousands of meetings and Bhagavad Katha and so-called satsanga. Unless you surrender to a person, tadvidhi panipatena, paripasnena, surrender. This is a process of surrender. As soon as there is lack of surrendering process, it is very difficult. Therefore Krishna says surrender. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam, surrender. So Krishna's representative, once you surrender, then Krishna mati bhavati, annatha naiva naiva. Matinna Krishna parato sato. So we were this has instruction from Prahlad Maharaj. Then next, read. What is that?
The material comforts of life are not sufficient to make us happy. The vivid example is America.
Yes, this is vivid example. In America, there is no scarcity of food. There is no scarcity of anything. Here, we cannot imagine that how there cannot be scarcity of food. But because here everything is scarcity, control. Similarly, I have seen Russia. Russia is advertising so much comfortable, but the poorest country, in my opinion. They stand in line as here control everything. If you have to purchase your necessities, you have to waste 2 hours. Where is Śyāmasundara? So Śyāmasundara was going to purchase our things. So rice practically not available, nice quality. Dal also not. The butter is available, milk is available, and meat, as much as you like. No fruits, no vegetables. It was very difficult for the vegetarian. And still, that is everything. He had to spend 2 hours for bringing milk and butter and little rice. Everything is controlled. What I was speaking?
The material comforts of life alone are not sufficient to make us happy. The vivid example is America.
Yes, and America, that's the contrast. You can purchase any amount of milk, any amount of wheat, any amount of rice, whatever you want. Everything is complete. So many stores, so many stocks. And still, the production is so great that government restricts, don't produce much. Don't produce much. They bribe the farmers, they don't produce. And I think the land, America, not even 1/4 of the land is utilized. If they utilize the whole land, I do not know how much they can produce. I think they can feed the whole world if they utilize. Similarly, I have seen in Australia, I have seen in Africa, enough land is lying without cultivation. So God has given us the capacity to cultivate, to produce food. We can produce food enough quantity. There is no question of scarcity. The scarcity is due to our godlessness. Otherwise, by God's arrangement, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate. It is Purna. Everything is complete. Just like nature. Nature produces. Sometimes in some season we see there is ample production of some mango, and sometimes there is no mango. So after all, it is in the hand of nature. Prakriti. The Prakriti Kriyamanani. Prakriti is producing, Prakriti is reducing, and behind the Prakriti there is Krishna. Mayadhakena Prakriti Swate Sakaratma. So just become devotee of Krishna and do your duty. Tani stita asudivatan tanuvanganovi. Then everything will be complete. There is no scarcity. This philosophy they do. They want to, like Pangsa, they want to make minus Krishna. Like Ravan, they want to make minus Rama. And the result is that with their all family, with all their wealth and everything, material and health, vanity. That is Prakriti. Daivijji sagunomi mama maya duratma. They are trying to avoid God. They are trying to become independent of God. Then what is the benefit? In every stage we are seeing that we are dependent on God. Because God has not supplied rain for 1 year. There is so much catastrophe going on. But still they will not. Matinna Krishna parato satova. Parato satova. If we advise that you take to Krishna consciousness and act accordingly, you will be all happy. No, Matinna Krishna parato satova. Because they have designed their own plan. So this is life. Then?
The vivid example is America, the richest nation of the world, having all facilities for material comfort, is producing a class of men completely confused and frustrated in life. I am appealing herewith to such confused men. The root cause of our dissatisfaction is that our dormant loving propensity has not been fulfilled, despite our great advancement in the materialistic way of life. The nectar of devotion will give us practical hints how we can live in this material world perfectly engaged in devotional service and thus fulfill all our desires in this life and the next. The nectar of devotion is not presented to condemn.
If you become devotee of Krishna, all your desires will be fulfilled. That is also fact. Akama sarvakama va mokakama udaradhi. Tibrena bhakti yogena jajeta paramam prema. It is not that, sometimes we think like that if we become devotee of God, then I will become poor. Because Vaishnavas are generally appear to be poor. So, those who are after material happiness, they do not like to become Vaishnava. They become devotee of Lord Shiva. Because by the grace of Lord Shiva, they get all material facilities. Therefore, generally, people are very much fond of becoming devotee of Lord Shiva. That this question was discussed between Yudhishthira Maharaj and not Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj inquired this, that Lord Vishnu is the master of goddess of fortune. But generally we find Vaishnavas are the poor. And Lord Shiva, he hasn't got even a house. So still his devotees are very prosperous. So the explanation is given that Lord Shiva is the master of these material opulences. Durga Devi. Durga Devi is his wife, the material nature. So devotees of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva can get all material facilities. And Lord Vishnu, because he is going to be transferred to the spiritual world, therefore gradually his material affection is cutted. Of course, when he is advanced in devotion, then his material comforts are not cutted. But when he is not advanced, if he thinks that by becoming Vaishnava I shall be materially very opulent, and I shall enjoy this material enjoyment. Then it is started. That is explained in Bhagavad and Chaitanya Chaitanya. Jasamana Grinnami Harisritantanam. Because Vishnu knows that he wants me, at the same time he wants some material opulence. So this is his ignorance. This is his ignorance. If he wants material opulence, then he has to remain here, within this material world. But he wants me to have Krishna, that is in the spiritual world. So if he has got attachment for this material world, then he cannot go. A slight attachment for this material world will oblige him to take another birth. The mind, if the mind is absorbed in karma or material comfort, then Krishna will give you, all right, you take this birth again. Even with great yogis, because they think of material comfort, they are called brashta. Yoga brashta sanjayati, suchinam simatang. Although the facility is given to take birth in the family of high Brahmin or a high rich man, but it is material. It is material. And one who becomes perfectly Krishna conscious, he hasn't got to. Tatta deham punarjanmanai mami. He is immediately transferred to Krishna. But people are enamored by this material life to have high parentage, janmai sadya sutta sri. They are enamored by these things. I must have in birth, in high families, in Brahmin families, in king's families, in heavenly planets, in demigods' families. They think this is life. But a devotee knows, no, this is not life. But devotee, vidimandradescha kitayate. What to speak of this rich family or that family or Brahmin family? Vidimandradescha kitayate. Even Vidhi means Lord Brahma, and Mahendra means Lord Indra. They are also considered, they are insects. They are apart living entities, just like ordinary insects. That is the position. The devotee is richest. Just like somebody we are discussing, somebody was speaking, that you are richest. Yes, I am richest. Why not richest? Because a devotee does not care liberation. Kaivallam narakayat. The jnanis are after merging into the Brahma effulgence. A devotee thinks, what is this Brahman purpose? Narakayat. Tidasapura akasa puspaya. And the heavenly planet, that is phantasmagal. What is this? Duddhanta India Kala Sattva Padri Puthata Dhamastaya. And the yogis, they are trying to subjugate the Indriyas. But for devotees, although the Indriyas are just like serpents, the poison teeth has been taken. Because the devotees Indriyas, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevana, that is now differently engaged. The devotees Indriyas are not engaged for sense gratification. His Indriyas are engaged for satisfying Krishna. Therefore, the poison teeth of Indriya is broken. This is the process. Vishwam purnam sukhayate, vidimandradischa kitayate, jatkarna katakha bhuyavata. This verse was written by one of your South Indian devotee of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada Saraswati. So he, realized that karunna katakha vaibhavatam gaurami vasudha. By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, I have achieved this success. Kaivallam narakayati, tidasapura akasa puspaya. So actually, devotee is the richest, because they don't care even for yoga siddhi, or heavenly planet, or merging into the Brahma effulgence, or become very rich and Brahmin. No, they don't care. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, Nadhanam na janang na sundaring kavitang vajagadisaka. Mamo janmani janmanishari bhavata. This is devotion. This is pure devotion. They don't want anything. Therefore they are Shanta. If you want Shanta, then you stop demanding. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. So long you want, you are in need, how that can be Shanta? There is no possibility. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, sakali asanta. Everyone. Bhukti means karmi, and mukti means jnani, and siddhi means yogi. They are wanting something. They cannot be Shanta. Krishna bhakta niskam tapayya. Krishna bhakta does not want anything. Krishna bhakta even does not want Krishna. He wants only Krishna's service. That's all. Why I shall bother Krishna? Krishna is busy in his own business. Let him dance with the gopis. I shall simply serve him. That's all. Why shall I want Krishna? Why shall I disturb him? This is devotion. Thank you.
Come on.